What's going on, everybody, and welcome to J Sports Seattle. In this video, I'm going to be going over the Seahawks game from yesterday. Straight up, I'm just going to say that is probably the sloppiest blowout win I've ever seen in my life. There is a lot to unpack in this video, so I'm just going to hop right into it. So if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. Alright, so the boys are 3-0. We stay undefeated entering week 4. Huge confidence builder for us and huge momentum builder for us heading into week 4, going into Detroit. We're going into Detroit undefeated, and that's going to these guys are definitely going to want to play with an even bigger chip on their shoulder to keep one of the undefeated teams in the league. There's only a few others. I know Minnesota's 3-0. I know the Chiefs are 3-0. Of course. But yeah, it doesn't matter how we are 3-0. We are 3-0. So, like I said last week, you got to go in there and get the business done, and we did. I mean, you held the Dolphins, who had their second and third stringers quarterbacks in to 3 points. I mean, that's exactly what you're supposed to do, not let them score, and we didn't. We didn't let them score a single touchdown in the entire game. So, and the times that they were in the red zone, it was either due to picks or, I guess that one drive we had that goal line stand, which was amazing, even if it was against a third stringer. But still, it's great to see that because under Pete, we haven't seen that in a while. So to see that now shows that if our offense just needs to improve, continue to find itself, and we're taking off. It's simple as that. If this defense is going to keep playing the way it's playing. So, yeah, 3-0. Before I move on to anything else, let's hop into injury updates from the game. Lost two huge people on that defense, man, which, I mean, it didn't seem to affect the course of the game, but going forward, not having these guys in next week's game could be really, really bad. So, especially this dude, because Leonard Williams has led the league. Before he got hurt, he was leading the league in both QB hits and pressures, I think, for his position. So, yeah, that would be a massive blow if we lost him early on. So, hopefully he's good. Apparently, it was a rib injury. Hopefully it's nothing too major, and he'll be good to go for next week. We'll have an extra day, which will be nice since we're on Monday night. Same with so then moving on to Byron Murphy, also not a good loss because he has had a promising start to his career, and we need both of these guys in. So we're thin at DT, so we need these guys to be healthy, and hopefully it looks like these guys have not anything super major, significant. It's just, Byron Murphy could have just tweaked his hamstring, and, Leonard Williams could have bruised ribs, potentially fractured, but if the MRI comes out clean, he could just have bruised ribs, and that'll just need time to heal. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, McDonald was impressed, and so was I. I was impressed by how the D-line held up against the run game. I mean, A-Chain didn't really do anything. I know they're missing Raheem Mostert, but A-Chain's still a good running back, and he didn't really do anything. So, it's the next man up mentality. McDonald has installed his own version of next man up mentality. It's more, instead of always compete, it's more of, hey, you're up next, so you need to go and perform. We're injured, you're up next. It's kind of a more I would say a more stern way of the always compete mentality, because Pete Carroll, his coaching style is more of a parental style of coaching, letting you be who you be and letting each other hold each other accountable instead of the coach holding them accountable. So, and that worked with the players that we had back then, but it didn't work with the players that we had going on. That's the reason why the Legion of Boom fell off. But here, it's the coach it's Mike McDonald that holds these guys accountable. So, definitely heads up to the guys that stepped in and played well. Seriously. even in linebacker position. Like I'm gonna talk about that here in a second. But let's move on to the stats of the game. Defense, like I said, played a perfect game. Like I'd say, yeah, no, they played a perfect game. I mean, without minus that interception, these guys are having 0 points on the board. Like, so definitely the defense gets massive props for the day, and this is what we want to see. Like, we want to, like, this is the issue we've had. This is the issue we've had the past few years. We were losing games that we had no business losing. Like in 2022, we shouldn't have lost that Raiders game. We shouldn't have lost that Bucks game, but we did because defense couldn't stop the run game to save their lives. So that's what we're doing. And a lot of people are saying, you beat the Bo Nix led Broncos, or you beat Jacoby Brissett on the Patriots, or you just beat second and third string quarterbacks. It's like, man, we can't control that, bro. Like, we can't. You're given what you have to play what you're given with. Like, it's just that's just how it is. Like, complaining isn't going to change the fact that Tua got hurt against the Bills. Like, it's just how it is. And you still have to go in and win those games. It's just because, like, they're out doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win. Like, it's the NFL, man. Like, every Sunday, stuff happens. It's like any given Sunday. So, like, Sam Darnold went in and smacked the Niners and the Texans. Like, the Panthers blew out the Raiders. Albeit they benched Bryce Young, but still they blew out the Raiders. Like, it's just it's any given Sunday. So hopefully, if we can go into Ford Field next week and shut these guys up, that would be great. But we'll see. But yeah, moving on to the stats. Go to the box score. Try not to be a box score warrior, but I did watch the game, so I can really these stats make more sense. So yeah, offensively for Miami, we just have. You know what? That's going to be defense. I'll talk about that later. Offensively for us, Gino. I'm gonna keep it a buck here. I think Gino played a good game. Like, I know you're thinking he threw 2 interceptions, but those interceptions were tipped balls. One by his teammate. Granted, he did throw it a little high because he was trying to avoid a safety, but one by his teammate and one by his teammate, and then the Miami defender tipped it, and it just got batted in the air and it got intercepted. I mean, it happens when the ball gets launched 15, 20 feet in the air. So, definitely he played a good game in my opinion. Because you think about it. Think about the end. Think about when we had like 6-7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We had a game-winning, like, it's in a sense, Gino had a game-winning drive. Like, it was obviously not really because the game was already over, but like the way, like, he led the team down on a 98-yard touchdown drive. Like, I mean, after throwing 2 interceptions, he didn't let the interceptions phase him. That's why this is the thing about Gino. That's why I think he played a good game. Not only did he throw that bomb to Metcalf, but like that fourth quarter drive showed that when we do need him in the clutch, he will still come through. So, definitely a good game. I mean, 76% percentage completion rate. Like, besides those 2 errant throws that really weren't his fault, he had a pretty good game. Because you remove those 2 interceptions and he has a really good day. So, I think he had a good day, in my opinion. Zach Charbonnet, shout out to him. Like, he had an amazing day today. Like, this guy balled out, and he, because what I noticed about him was they were scheming more downhill runs for him, not the the runs where K9 could shift the other direction and go because of how shifty he is. K9 or just Charbonnet can't. He's a little bit bigger, and he can't do that as effectively as as K9. And and his strengths is running down a hill and bruising people. Like you saw, he was lowering his shoulder. He was stiff arming people. That's the type of back that we are looking for in him, is that powered back, that downhill back, and he played exactly that in this game. So props to Zach Charbonnet. You had an amazing day today, and I'm happy for you, man. Seriously. Kenny McIntosh, he had a couple carries. They didn't really, they were just leaning on Zach Charbonnet most of the game. I think the reason why McIntosh doesn't get much playing time is because he can't pass block effectively. So, receiving wise, we absolutely tore up. We kind of tore up the Dolphins cornerback room. Jalen Ramsey, I don't know how many receptions he allowed, but just in general, that entire secondary was not comfortable. He allowed nearly 200 yards, 300 yards through the air. It's a little rough, but a lot of it did come on that 71-yard bomb by Geno to DK. But Noah Fant had a great day. 6 targets, 6 catches, and I think Pharaoh Brown being back might have done that because the Dolphins, they face Pharaoh Brown, so they know how to scheme against him since he played in their division. But Noah Fant not so much. So Noah Fant had a great day today. Definitely proud of him stepping up. Tyler Lockett had a good day. JSN had a nice few catches. This was a balanced day on offense, and I kind of like to see this. Like, I obviously want to get rid of the turnovers, but like this is what you like to see, spreading out the ball. So, okay, moving on to defense. Man, oh man, defense absolutely destroyed these guys. 7.9 QBR, 3.1 QBR. Passer rating, I don't really, you can pay attention to passer rating, but QBR is a more accurate representation on how a quarterback did in a game. Factors in, like, time to throw, like, how many turnover-prone throws you made, where the sacks your fault, stuff like that. Run game, absolutely stout. Like, they didn't do anything on the ground. Like, they had a couple, Devon A-Chain and Jeff Wilson. They're both, and Jalen Wright, good running backs, and they just couldn't do anything against us. That D-line stepped up today, and the linebackers stepped up today. That front seven had a great day today, and Tyreek Hill got pretty limited, 3 for 40. Not really, he didn't really do anything. That's not like his typical 130-yard game. D. Eskridge had a 30-yard completion on us for 1 reception. I guess he got his revenge. I don't know. And Devin A-Chain, 5 targets, 3. He had 28 yards on 3 receptions. And then Jalen Waddle was just put in a coffin. Like, he couldn't do anything. He was putting behind bars, I should say. And absolutely insane. First off, honestly, man, Rayshawn Jenkins, this dude, he's playing at a Pro Bowl level right now. Like, he's coming into the Jamal Adams role and is playing Jamal Adams' position 30 times better. And I'm noticing it on the field. I'm feeling his effect. Rayshawn, like, every time I see him on the field after he makes a tackle, or I should say this, every time I see him on the field, he's making some meaningful play, either in pass coverage or tackle wise. Like, this dude can tackle, and he had a great day tackling. Like, he had amazing stops. Like, definitely shout out to this guy, and he's definitely playing at a Pro Bowl level right now at that strong safety position. Tyrese Knight had another good day. He had a TFL. He was just instinctual again, and I think he was doing well in coverage. Good game. And Derek Hall, man, oh my goodness, Derek Hall had a monstrous day today. 2 sacks, TFL, 4 quarterback hits. Like, this dude absolutely ate up this game. And to keep in mind, this is missing Uchenna Nwosu, and then Byron Murphy went out and Leonard Williams went out. So, like, the fact that he came in and just went crazy, absolutely insane. And shout out to, like, to Jones. Draymond Jones had a great day today. Like, after the first 2 games so far of the season, it hasn't really done well. But he has a TFL, he has a sack, he has 2 QB hits. He had a great day today. And then Boye Mafe with another TFL, a pass deflection, 2 QB hits, and a sack. This guy's I feel like he's gonna make the Pro Bowl this year. He's had a sack in every game he's played in so far, and he had the same thing last year when he had, I think, what was it, 8 games straight? He had 7 games straight. He had a sack. I think that was a franchise record, or tied a franchise record. Like Boye Mafe, he is playing at a Pro Bowl level, and we were proving why we picked him in the second round. Granted, it was the Broncos that gave us that pick, but still. Devin Witherspoon, he had an iffy day. Those penalties, that's just more discipline, and I think Mike McDonald will fix that. Because so far I saw, and I'll get into that later. But I saw he has 4 penalties on the year, and one of them shouldn't have really been called. It was that soft PI it was an uncatchable ball. That one I didn't agree. Witherspoon had a legit argument against that. Hankins, they couldn't do anything against him in the run. So he stepped up today at that nose tackle position, and he played his tail off. Drake Thomas also had a few good plays in coverage and in tackling as well. But yeah, Woolen had a pass deflection. Didn't really target him at all. Woolen is playing locks. I feel like he's on a trajectory to make the Pro Bowl this year. I'll have to see how many yards. I don't think Witherspoon really allowed too many yards. I mean, there's the penalties, but actual plays against him, I don't know how many yards he allowed, if any, if much. But yeah, speaking of this, we had a bunch of fumbles. I don't know if they were forced fumbles, but definitely we had fumbles. So there was 2 fumbles lost, 3 fumbles lost in total, and 2 recovered. Not recovered, sorry. So they recovered all 3 of them. But the thing is one of these days, we're just getting unlucky with not getting these fumbles. One of these days, we'll force a fumble, or they'll fumble the ball, and we'll pounce on it, and we'll get on it. It's just we've been unlucky. It's just one of these times it's bound to happen, because we have been one of the better teams in forcing fumbles throughout these 2 weeks, first 3 weeks, I should say. So definitely it'll happen. So, but yeah, defense played a great day, and offense played a midday overall. Moving on to winners and losers. Shout out to field goals. Winners, like I said, Zach Charbonnet had an amazing day, stepping in and filling in for K9. He had 100 total yards from scrimmage, which is great. DK Metcalf had another great day, second week of 100+ yards. Noah Fant had a good day. AJ Barner had a great day in blocking, and he had a first downs on 2 of his first 3 passes in the NFL, which is great. Derek Hall, like I said, had an amazing day. His second-year leap Israel, and he's having an insane season. I was high on him coming into the season. And then Draymond Jones, he had a great game after having 2 ineffective games to start the season. Jonathan Hankins, like I said, couldn't do anything. Linebackers, Tyrese Knight, Tyrell Dodson. Tyrell Dodson balled out. Oh my goodness, he's playing at a Pro Bowl level as well. And it's the thing is I saw something. Mike McDonald, it's just he's telling these guys, when you see this is what you got to do, or if you see that, this is what you got to do. This is just great coaching. And this is the reason why Patrick Queen became a Pro Bowler and Roquan Smith too in Baltimore. So, and Drake Thomas had a great game. All of these guys get a shout out. The linebacker core today gets a shout out, and Jerome Baker, when he gets back in, he's gonna be just fine. They mixed it up. They mixed things up, which is great. And then, losers. I got to move on to the losers, though. Offensive line once more had another dud of a game. How many sacks? I think it was 3 sacks. 3 sacks allowed. Not good. A lot of pressures allowed. I saw a stat in game yesterday saying that we lead the league. Or not lead the league. We're second in the league in pressures allowed. Not good at all. So that needs to be fixed. And straight up, there are just 2 people that are just not doing well right now. Stone Forsythe, I've seen him get beat so many times on the right side, and Laken Tomlinson, he's he's not good. Like, he's just not good this year. He's allowed, I think maybe more than 1 sack, 2 sacks maybe, multiple penalties on him. And the O-line has cost us a lot of offensive drives. And we need to figure something out here because this is unacceptable. Yeah, he was a drive-killing machine. He's been called for 6 penalties in 3 games. Like, at this point, you're going to have to put in Christian Haynes and see what he has. Like, but the thing is, if they're still slowly easing in Christian Haynes, even though Bradford is still having 6 penalties in 3 games, it could mean that the gap between Bradford and Haynes could be bigger than we think, which isn't good, in favor of Bradford. So I still believe in Bradford, and I believe he can turn it around, but he's got to turn it around. So Charles Cross was beaten on his first sack and pressure of this year. You know what? It happens. Like, I can't even blame him, because you know what? You get beat. It's the NFL. You get beat, and it happens. Connor Williams kind of had an iffy day, but this was the first time I've heard his name today for penalties. Like in Tomlinson, he had an okay day, but yeah, he had another bad penalty. Yeah, D. Williams, this guy just doesn't do well in returning. Like, there are times where he's called fair catches where he shouldn't. In that Broncos game, I remember he muffed the punt, and then he let the ball bounce over his head instead of calling a fair catch and getting the ball to 10 and cause a safety. He's not good and that could be stemming down to Jay Harbaugh, or he just doesn't really understand what he needs to do, or he doesn't understand that what he needs to do on special teams. Yeah, I already talked about Witherspoon, so yeah, punt return coverage unit was kind of iffy. We allowed a 44-yard return on a 61-yard punt today. Not really good. I mean, it's this new system of special teams, and plus it's new rules, so not much you can really do when you're trying to figure stuff out. But still, we got to fix that. So, oh yeah, too many penalties. 11 flags, 4 on the offensive line. Oh yeah, no way Coach McDonald is pleased with that. No, he's definitely happy that we got the win, but he's definitely gonna be like, yo, okay, we gotta crack down on these penalties, because if we want to stay undefeated, if we want to go into Detroit and win against those guys, we can't have 11 penalties. It's just simple as that. So, yeah, Devin Witherspoon, Rick Woolen, and Trey Brown kept Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle in check, even acknowledging the limitations at quarterback. I mean, but the thing is like, if you're a good wide receiver, you're going to be open, and like even the worst quarterback in the league can make an average throw. So we did keep them in check. They were open a couple times, but like they didn't really do anything. Let's see. Incidentally, Ryan Grubb cannot call empty formations deep in his own. Yeah, that's simply, yeah. So, and that could have been one reason why that interception happened. You have to run the ball trying to get, because you sometimes you just got to take your L and just punt it away and let your defense do its thing, because it's already playing a good game. He said in Jenga, yeah, like that. Skylar Thompson, Skylar Murray, Carlin. No, I don't care, man. He's the GOAT. Like he gets some passes. And then, yeah, so he missed his first. Jason Myers missed his first field goal of the season. Yeah, the nerves would have been calmer if we made that kick, but it didn't really matter. Yeah. So hopefully, these. Oh yeah, Murph. If it's like a moderate hamstring pull, he could miss next week, which would be good. But yeah, moving on to snap counts. The entire offensive line had 100% of the snaps. I mean, we have some backups in there. So, I mean, Charles Cross is a starter, Bradford's a starter, Tomlinson's technically a starter. Oh yeah, I guess we got 4 starters and a backup. But yeah. And Geno Smith 100%. Yeah, Lockett played only 56% of the snaps, which is insane. JSN and DK, they played a majority of offensive snaps though. See, like I said early on, I wouldn't be surprised if over time, it's still taking time, Lockett takes the backseat to JSN as he still finds himself in this league. Because last week, JSN went insane, and this week he had a few great catches. I think this was just a game where we just needed to spread out the ball and get the win. So I think next week we will probably try to get the ball out to JSN more. Charbonnet, like I said, had a great game. Rayshawn Jenkins played 100% of the defensive snaps. Great to see. Tyrell Dodson 90%, with Witherspoon 89, Julian Love 89, Woolen 89. So our top guys played a lot of the snaps, and then the guys, 57% of the snaps for Knight, good for him, and he played well. Mafe, good. He did great in his snaps. Drake Thomas, Kobe Bryant had a good game when he had his snaps. So yeah, we definitely had a good game overall defensively, and those are our snap counts. But yeah, moving on to this week, we now have, let's see, counting. We are now tied 6th most in the league in penalties. So yeah, definitely got to clean that up. We cannot have penalties. So definitely gonna have to crack down on that. But the thing is the refs have been taking over in a lot of these games this year, so they haven't been messing around. So that you got to take that with a grain of salt as well. But yeah, 3-0. I mean, not really much to say, but we are 3-0. And also shout out to Bob Condota for your page, and shout out to Corbin Smith for your page here. But yeah, moving on to our what our stat, how we're looking team stat wise throughout the first 3 weeks. We're looking pretty good. And honestly, if you look at our offense, we actually have a pretty good offense in terms of yards. We are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 8th in the league in yards and yards per game. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8th in total yards. We're kind of lower on the rushing yards, so we gotta work on our run game. But we are missing K9 though, so that once we get K9 back, this should go up 97 yards a game. And we're scoring 24.5 points a game. 24.3 points a game, close enough. So yeah, and that's actually good for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, 1, 2, 3. 8 for 8th in the league. So we're 8th in yards per game and 8th in points per game. So let's see what about the total points we have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, we're just 8th in everything. So we're top 10. We have a top 10 offense, technically speaking. And this offense can still get better. That's the thing. We're still scoring 24 points a game, 25 points a game, while this offense is still finding itself in the league. But the thing is, when you have a good defense, 25 points should win you a game. So if your defense is allowing 3 points a game or 10 points less than 15 points a game, you're fine. Moving on though, speaking of our defense, our defense throughout the first 3 games is bringing back some Legion of Boom stuff. So throughout the first 2 games, we were 2nd in the league in yards per game allowed, 248.7. Great to see that. Yards per game for rushing yards per game, we have gotten diced though. We had a better game though, so that kind of helped our average. We're allowing, throughout the first 3 games, we've allowed 113.7 points per game, or rushing yards per game. And passing yards, we're top 2. We're 2nd in the league in passing yards per game. Granted that we faced Bo Nix, but hey, you know what? Bo Nix had a good game against the Broncos. Against the Buccaneers. So, like I said, it's the NFL. But 132.3 yards in the first 3 weeks, great to see. This defense is really showing itself early on, and Mike McDonald's impact is being felt immediately, even if it is against hurt teams. But the thing is, we're hurt too. We're missing Uchenna Nwosu, we're missing we're missing K9. Who else? Who else are missing? I mean, Byron Murphy went out. Leonard Williams went out. Like, we have people out too, and once we're fully healthy, we'll be good to go. So, yeah, I mean, like, overall, great game. Like I said earlier in the intro, this was a sloppy blowout, and we got the business done, but there's still a lot we got to fix, mainly on offense. Like, defensively, I think we're okay. Offense, there's a lot we got to fix on the offense. So, but I think that's all I have for this video. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good day, and go Hawks, go Mariners, and go Kraken.